may make a billet aluminum tank for this car as well, and I think I'm gonna
Perfect.
Welcome to the AutoLuz YouTube channel, and if you're new here, I'm currently tinkering on my 1200 horsepower capable BMW X6M, also known as Sasha. And today I'm doing something extremely different, and I'm gonna show you guys exactly what it is. So for those of you who don't know, I just had a stage 2 1400 horsepower 1200 foot-pounds of torque pure drivetrain solutions transmission with a super street torque converter put in Sasha. We just finished the break-in mileage. It took 500 miles of city driving, no highway driving, to break her in, and I noticed something while checking on the engine one day, and what I noticed was horrible. And I'm gonna show you exactly what I noticed. So this here is the PCV system, the positive crankcase ventilation system. And what that does is it evacuates crankcase pressures that the engine doesn't need. But anyways, a lot of oil, it's supposed to be some type of baffling system in the valve cover, and it's this little flapper in here, but it doesn't do that much to actually stop oil from getting in your intake, which is right through, I'm gonna show you. It comes through here, and then it gets in this little pipe here. This connects to this little pipe here, and it goes down into the intake, but I got something to stop that from happening. And as you can see, it's a little barb fitting here, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why it's a little barb fitting on the end of that. Well, actually it's one on both ends. Boom. This is why right here. This is my completely customized oil catch can kit, vent to atmosphere oil catch can kit. And I'm gonna have the parts down in the description for anybody with an S63 engine to put this oil catch can kit, vent to atmosphere, on their car. And the reason I'm doing vent to atmosphere is because even with some catch can systems, oily vapor still bypass the catch can system and end up in your turbos and in your intercoolers. And oily intake air drops octane. Bad for octane. So these are pretty much knockoff Mishimoto oil catch cans. Nothing special about them. I think I literally paid $15 a piece for these. But it didn't come with these breathers on here. I did the breathers myself. But I'm gonna show you exactly what I did to the inside of this catch can to make it 3 times more oil capable filtering than the Mishimoto $100 oil catch cans. So check this out. I'm gonna show you the pictures because I don't want to open this back up, so I'm gonna show you the pictures right here. As you can see, I drilled a hole in the grate to force the oil on the inlet down into the bottom of the oil catch can, and also added some stainless steel instead of just the bronze filter like the Mishimoto. Yeah, so as you can see, once the oil goes in, it's forced down to the bottom of the can where I have steel wool to help with separation, and then it goes back up through the bronze filter and then exits here on this breather, and I have some AN line here, 8 AN line. I was just gonna go with the 3/8 fuel line and then put the sheath over it, but I'd rather go with the AN line because the AN line already has the braiding on it, and it's perfect for 3/8 barbs fitting. And I'm gonna tell you why I didn't go with the AN fittings as well. Well, I'm gonna tell you now why I didn't go with the AN fittings. This is a car that's meant for the track, you know, and this is an oil catch can system. It's not a high pressure fuel system, high pressure any type of system, you know, dealing with the crankcase. And I didn't want one of the lines to strip or fittings to strip at the track or something like that, and then now I'm stuck and can't race, when these fittings here that I got, which look exactly like AN fittings, but they have a worm gear in it, you know, that'll be strong enough to hold the hold on, let me take one of these out. It'll be strong enough to hold the line on the barb and prevent leaks, you know. So that fits very extremely snug on there, as you can see. I mean, it's super snug, and it looks so nice when it's on there. And this 8AN fits very snug on this 3/8 barb fitting. Look, I can't even get it on there while it's with one hand. So anyways, I'm going to tell you exactly what's going on with this kit. So usually Berger Motorsport sells a aftermarket oil catch can kit for the S63 engine, not for the SUVs, only for the M5 and M6. And I think it's about $400, you know, and it comes with this piece that connects to here, you know, connects to the outlet on the this Molly, I think it's made by Molly, yeah, this Molly PCV hose. But they won't sell it by themselves. 3 or 4 guys have asked, will they sell those ports by themselves? And I think the outlet is way too big, in my opinion. I think it's like a 1/2 inch outlet or something like that, or maybe bigger than that. I didn't want, you know, line hose that big in my engine bay for what? I mean, it's bigger than this. I want it to stay around that same size, which is about this same size here, you know, so everything matches perfectly, and it's ends to not restrict the PCV system from, you know, purging itself. So what I did was I tapped the ends of these on the inside, and I'm going to show you pictures of that. But before I did, I stuffed them with paper towels so no shavings get down in there, you know. So I'm going to show you those pictures now of how I tapped it. Tapping the PCV hose is very easy. It doesn't need to be drilled at all. You just, you know, insert the tap and start twisting, but make sure that you pack it with a paper towel before you do so, so when you pull it out, it pulls all the shavings out as well. And after I tap those, you know, I use the same 3/8 MPT, because 3/8 MPT is perfect for this port here. It fits in snug even without tapping it, you know. But to tap that, you don't need to drill it. All you need to do is just slide the tap in and start turning, and it'll put threads in that, you know, because this plastic is soft enough but also hard enough for it to bite in and actually make good clean, you know, channels for this 3/8 MPT to get in. And once I did that, I added some E6000. E6000 is all over my entire oil catch can kit, because what it does is it's extremely durable. It's extremely resilient. It's high temperature rated. It's extremely flexible, and it's impervious to any type of like oil, gas, transmission fluid, and other type of chemicals like that, you know. So that's what I used, and it actually seals the threads better than thread locker. So, well, not, I wouldn't say tighter than like Loctite Red, but it seals the threads better, you know, because it's the form it is, and it's, you know, uncured form. It actually is self-leveling, so it falls into and pushes itself into all of the threads on both sides, male and female sides. But I also made these, my catch cans didn't come with these brackets, but all this is like I think this is, I forgot how thick this is, but I get it from Home Depot. It's like the L brackets from Home Depot, and I just bent them, painted them, and drilled some holes in it, and they're on this bracket here, this fender bracket. Well, I guess this is a headlight and fender bracket, and I just had to modify it at the bottom here. I had to cut out this little channel right there, and it's very small, and that sits in there very tight. you know, and that's where that one's gonna sit, and it clears the hood. And I think it's 1 inch out and about 6 inches tall. You don't want anything taller than 6 inches. Anything taller than 6 inches, you might have clearance issues. And that's the same with this side. This bottom piece is 1 inch and the top is 6 inches. You know, and I just painted them up with black spray paint, put a couple of coats on it, and wham bam, thank you ma'am, that was it. So you're probably wondering if I'm having a open air PCV system, you know, vent to air, how am I gonna plug these up? Because you can't leave these open. That's unmetered air going to be coming through the intake. If it was before the if it was before the mass airflow sensor, it'd be fine. But since it's after the mass airflow sensor, it's unmetered, because this what does the metering. So what I found for that is I was going through the parts store and I found these, what is it called? It's Chrysler 2008 to 2020 to 2008 Chrysler, and they are differential plugs. And I'm gonna pop one out. Excuse me. I'm gonna pop one out and show you how good these fit in there. And I think the opening, the inner diameter for this opening is, I think, 22 millimeters, and this is like 23 and a half, 24, and you could actually hear it squeeze in and pop in like it was meant for it, you know. And that's totally blocked off, and it's rubber, so it's sealed all the way around, and it's meant for a differential to hold the fluid in, so that's not going anywhere, you know. That's not going anywhere at all. So I have two of these, and every part that I have in this kit, you know, from the cans to the filters to the fittings, everything will be in the links down in the description, so you can order this exact same kit and do it the exact same way that I did it. You know, from the AN line, from the AN/worm gear clamps, you know, this entire kit. And it's 100% reversible. Like, you can screw this out and put the clamp back on it, the push clamp back on it, and it'll snap right back over the original port. So you're not modifying anything to where it can't be reversed. So yeah, let's get this kit finished putting this kit on. The entire kit is done. I think it looks great. It's extremely symmetrical. That's what I wanted to make sure that it was extremely symmetrical as possible. I didn't want this line being routed over here and this line being routed over there. I mean, the oil fill neck got in the way a little bit, but it still turned out great. The only thing that I might do, which I really don't have to, but I might do anyways, because I'm just like, you know, overly cautious like that, is see, these things are very tight in there. It's not hard. I mean, it's not easy for these to just fall out of there. It's very tight in there, but I might put a little E6000 around here and slide it in just to make sure that it seals all the way, so no unmetered air gets into the system at all. But you know, other than that, you know, everything else is like super airtight. Now we actually have 3 breathers, crankcase breathers on the car instead of 1. The main one, which is a valve in there, ball valve, the passenger side and the driver's side for the crankcase. So she's looking more and more like a race car every day. You know, I tell people all the time, it's always function over form for this car. Like, I rather it looks a little bit off and works correctly than it looks beautiful and doesn't, you know, function the way it's supposed to. You know, but the whole system turned out great. Yeah, but every part for this kit, including the cans, the breathers, the hose, the end caps, the fittings, everything will have its own link down in the description. All you have to do is click the link and it'll take you right to the exact part that I used to make this kit. The only thing that I didn't buy from offline is the actual hardware for the brackets and the L brackets themselves. Like I said, I bought this little thin steel here from Lowe's and I bent it. It's 1 inch by 6 inch. That's perfect. And I used the bolt on the bottom of this bracket on both sides to mount the cans. So yeah, if you guys want to do it exactly the way I did it, but again, I did the open vent to atmosphere system to eliminate any type of oil or, you know, greasy blow by, anything getting back inside the intake, which will get inside of the turbos and end up inside the intercooler and then inside the combustion chamber, which lowers the octane of the fuel you're using. That greasy, oily air lowers the octane, you know, and it destroys everything on the path, because now your turbos are inefficient because it's so much oil being blowed in them. Your intercoolers can't do their job because they're covered in oil. The heat exchanger can't pull heat away from the air because they're covered in oil. You know, nothing can do its job correctly. So this is one of the best things you can do, you know, is run for this engine particularly, is run an open vent to atmosphere system. There's guys who've been running vent to air systems, vent to atmosphere systems for over almost 2 years, you know, going on 3 years, and haven't had so much as a check engine light, and they track their cars. So obviously the S63 TU doesn't have that problem, and it's a vacuum pump on the engine itself anyways that makes vacuum for I think for the turbos, because the turbos are vacuum operated. That's why this little tank is there, and they make a billet aluminum tank for this car as well, and I think I'm gonna swap that out. They sell them in packs of 2 because most of the cars had 2 of these, but the S63 and S63 TU only have 1, so I'm just gonna order that 1 and pop that on there, you know, and that'll get rid of, you know, all of the plastic, because I hate having a bunch of plastic under the hood, you know, especially on a performance car. So yeah, guys, I hope you really like the way I have the oil catch can set up. You know, it was extremely cheap. I mean, when you find out how cheap this kit was, you gonna, I mean, it's literally highway robbery what some of the other companies are charging for these kits. You know, I mean, they're using generics catch cans anyways, most of them that don't even filter correctly, and they want $4, $5, upwards of $1,000. You know, I'm sure some of the higher brands like Mighty Mouse and Radium and stuff like that, I'm sure those catch cans work the way they're supposed to work. But if you can get away with a cheaper system and it still does the exact same thing, why not do it? You know, I don't really care about a name brand. My car isn't about name brand. You know, it's about, you know, function over form, or function over looks. You know, I care more about the function of something than the brand or the name or something like that. Yeah, but the I have the custom transmission cooler kit coming in. You know, it's so much BMW first, and it's crazy when you guys see how we're gonna do this transmission cooler system. I mean, it's ridiculous. I'm just gonna wait to show you. And then the parts that we're using, you know, most of you guys probably never even knew these parts existed, because I didn't until I ran across them. You know, so all of these mods, anybody can do, anybody can reproduce, you know, with a little bit of know-how, or show the video to your tuner or your mechanic. You know, these are some good mods if you track your car. You know, my car is a track car. You know, my daily is this SUV here, which will soon be another track car. But you know, that's what I build my cars for. You know, it's a couple guys in the every now and then I get a few guys in the comments saying, oh, that's not good for your car, that's gonna make the oil too cool or the coolant too cool. Bro, my cars are not factory cars. Yes, true enough, you put an oil cooler valve or a 90-degree thermostat on a stock car up north, I mean, for what? This is not a stock car channel. If you have a stock BMW, this is not the channel for you at all. If you love to road race, drag race, dig race, roll race, if you love racing and pushing your car to the limit, then it's the channel for you. You know, so keep those negative comments to yourself, because they get no play here, period. So like, share, and subscribe. When that transmission stuff come in, you guys are gonna be like, what? And auto lust out.